the Psychosin project. Today I'm going to be doing the top 10 games that I personally don't seem to think much of, but yet every reviewer, everyone I know seems to love. First of all, honourable mention goes to Dead Rising. Basically, my problem with this game, I'll admit, first of all, it is the difficulty. It's bloody ridiculous. I know Capcom have made it so that you can level up and then restart the game with your level intact. However, that seems like a cheap way of getting out of balancing the gameplay issues and the difficulty. My other issue with it was the levelling up system, where you have to take pictures of zombies. It just seemed a bit stupid to me. I mean, this is an honourable mention because they fixed this issue with Dead Rising 2, whereby you do what you want to do in a zombie game, which is kill fucking zombies to level up. Dead Rising 2 works a lot better, so that's why this has gone down to honourable mention and not onto the top 10. Anyway, let's start the list. Number 10, Borderlands. Now, the reason this is on my list is because a lot of people were raving about it for ages, and I bought it a couple of months after it came out. Now, I've played it for 3-4 hours at a time, and the reason I stopped playing is because I just get bored. It just doesn't seem to do anything for me, this game. Yeah, I know there's the whole thing of it's got all these millions of weapons and that, but it's so difficult and so annoying to read how small the text is, to see how like your current gun compares with another gun. I mean, it's a bit of a mess. I mean, Gearbox it is a good game, but for me it done nothing. So, Fable Borderlands, you're at number 10. Fable 2. Now, you're probably wondering why Fable 2 and not Fable 3. Because I actually enjoyed Fable 3. Fable 3 I thought was really good game. Still not as good as Peter Molyneux keeps saying he's going to make the Fable games, but he's definitely getting there. Fable 2, however, I mean, it just does not hold my interest. I have tried, I've never completed the game, so I'm possibly missing on some good bits, but when it came out it was alright, but now after playing Fable 3 I find it hard to go back and play it. I will go back and play it to give it another fair chance, but for me it just seems full of gimmicky things. I mean, most of the content seems hidden away in the game as opposed to actually as part of the main story, which isn't a brilliant thing to do. So Fable 2, not a winner on my book, and that's why it's number 9 on here. Now number 8, I haven't got a disc for because I downloaded it off of Xbox Live Arcade, and it is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I've got to get a lot of flack for this. Now I downloaded it after everyone saying about how brilliant a beat 'em up it is, how it's going to sound a bit strange but perfectly broken, and how fun it is to play. I downloaded it, played it for a while, I just didn't find it that fun. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, the Marvel and the Capcom characters coming together for a sort of one-on-one battle, well, 2-on-2, sorry. But there's for some reason some fighting games don't really do anything for me. Another one that sort of did it for me was King of Fighters 12, but my main problem with that is that you can actually complete it in 5 minutes, which after I paid about 20 quid for the game isn't really value for money. But anyway, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, again, I don't really hate it, I just don't understand all the hype around it. So that's why it's my number 8. Number 7, Devil May Cry. I know this is Devil May Cry 4, but I have played all of them, and they do nothing for me. Again, a lot of people always rave about it, like the whole thing of launching enemy in the air, shooting him to get the combo up with a cushion of bullets and all of this. Yeah, it's fun, but it gets repetitive, and it just doesn't hold my interest. And the other thing that really annoyed me, especially with, I think it was Devil May Cry 1, is when you'd leave a room, go back in, because you'd missed something, and the enemies were back again, respawning endlessly. And that is just something that is just fucking annoying. This is also what annoys me with the Lego games, but with the Lego games I can kind of understand it. they are aimed at little kids. Therefore, if they left it so you had nothing to do, the kid would get bored. But with Devil May Cry, it just doesn't really get to me. And yet I love Bayonetta, which is essentially the same sort of game. I don't know what it is about Devil May Cry that does nothing for me. But there we go. Number 7 on my list, Devil May Cry. Number 6 is Dead Space. Now I have to say Dead Space 1 because I have not played the second one yet. Now for a game that puts itself as a survival horror, it doesn't really have much survival or horror elements to it. It is essentially sort of a old school sort of Gears of War type game in a way. I mean, you don't take cover and all that, I know that, but it's going along shooting things. But when you see a dead body on the ground, you know it's going to jump up, turn into one of the necromorphs, and you have to shoot it. All the scares are kind of telegraphed, and you can tell that something's going to come up and happen. The story is interesting. I'll give them that. The story does hold my interest, and I will play it to the end. But all in all, it's a disappointing game. Why they've tried to market it as survival horror, I do not know. The proper survival horror game for me is the original Resident Evil games or the Silent Hill games. And yes, I'm one of those few people who actually enjoyed Homecoming. So yeah, Dead Space is my number 6. Number 5, oh, this has got to be a doozy. Number 5 is Oblivion, which you can't quite see on there. Now, I absolutely love the Fallout series that Bethesda has done since Oblivion, but for some reason Oblivion does nothing for me. The levelling up system seemed a bit confusing. The fact that you have to sleep to level up seems a bit stupid to me, and I just wandered around for ages with nothing really happening. And when I did get to one of the Hell Gates or whatever they're called, I can't remember now. Sorry, Oblivion Gates. Oh, bloody title. I found that it was punishingly difficult to do anything. Now, I know that's probably because I hadn't levelled up enough, but it's ridiculous. I mean, the boss in the first Oblivion Gate, it took me a while to beat. Now, this may be due to my own sort of unawareness of the whole Elder Scrolls series. I will admit Oblivion was the first one I've ever played. I will go back and play it again, but all in all, I just didn't find it that fun of an RPG. I mean, I know Skyrim's coming out soon, Elder Scrolls 5, and I'm debating whether I'm going to buy it. So yeah, number 5 is the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Also, I'll just point this out, I know I've had 2 zombie games on here, Dead Space and Dead Rising, and I am aware of the irony of me saying I don't like those games that much when I am in fact wearing a Cannibal Corpse shirt. On to my number 4. The Grand Theft Auto series. This is actually Grand Theft Auto 4. Now I know 4 is what a lot of people had issues with due to the whole cousin thing, constantly phoning a few other dictatorial parts of the game. But for me, the whole series, the only one I've really fully enjoyed was Vice City. Every other Grand Theft Auto, again, it spoiled me. People go on about, oh, you got the freedom of that, and yeah, I do appreciate that. But for me, a good open world game, and 2 of my favourites, in fact, at the moment, are Just Cause 2, which I cannot recommend enough, and Saints Row 2. If you go pick up those 2 games, because they're probably quite cheap now, especially Saints Row 2, you will have a lot more fun with them than possibly any Grand Theft Auto game. I know Saints Row 2 is basically Grand Theft Auto. It's Grand Theft Auto back in the days of like Vice City when it was fun, when it was actually fun to go and just sort of start causing havoc. Unlike Grand Theft Auto 4 and all the others, apart from Vice City, where I appreciate it's more story based, but even the stories bored me. I mean, 4, I've been playing it for a while now, still haven't unlocked the second island, and it's doing nothing for me at all. I know that seems to be a common complaint. As I say, I mean, this is a personal top 10 list of games I hate. So there you go, number 4, Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto series. Number 3. Oh, this is the big one. Now, I don't actually own any of these because this is how much I don't like them. So, bring the hate, because number 3 is the Super Smash Bros. Series. Why do people like this game? Why do people like these games? I can understand it as a party game. You have a few mates round, have a couple of beers or whatever. Yeah, it's fun for a while. It's up there with like Mario Party on the fun part. But when it becomes like a tournament game and people spending hours playing against each other again and again, they even know that some of the cats are broken, like Meta Knight. I mean, for fuck's sake, why do you take this game seriously? It's shit. I played it. I've played it a few times, all of them, and they're all button bashers, which is fine for a party game. But when you're trying to make it serious, and some people do take this series of games, it's just boring. So fucking boring. Anyway, that's my number 3. Now, number 2, another big one, and this is going to learn me a lot of hate, is one of Nintendo's flagship titles, Zelda. Now, some people are going to say, oh, you don't like Zelda because you don't like RPGs. This is not true. I love RPG games. I love action RPGs. I mean, I know I put down Oblivion, but I still appreciate it as an RPG. I love Lost Odyssey. I love Final Fantasy. I love an old Mega Drive game that I still think is one of the best RPGs ever, called Landstalker. If you can, download it, check it out. Brilliant game. But Zelda, I mean, as you saw, I have Ocarina of Time, and I have the GameCube collection thing that come out. It does absolutely nothing for me. It bores me. It bores me so much. Why do you keep buying these games? Virtually every game, it's the same fucking story every time. Now, RPGs generally change their story from game to game if they get sequels. Zelda, it's always you saving that fucking princess again and again, using the hook shot or using the boomerang. It is so boring. Stop buying these games. Stop making Nintendo remake them. I'll say remake them. They've just remade the first game again and again and again. Yeah, some have had a few little elements that are different, and they have tried to deviate with the Game Boy games. But it's just boring. Stop it, Nintendo. Just fucking stop it. And now is a big one. Nintendo's main flagship title. What you would associate with Nintendo straight away. The Mario series. Oh, bring the flack. Go on, bring it. Hate it. I've played most of them. I've played 1, I've played 2, I've played 3 on the NES, I've played Super Mario World, I've played Super Mario 64, I've played Super Mario Galaxy. Just bore me. Absolutely bore me. Yeah, it might be because I was more of a Sega kid. I mean, I grew up with Sonic and that. I've always preferred Sega because they actually had some balls with their games. Admittedly, Sonic the Hedgehog has gone downhill a lot in the last few years. But Mario, why do people love it? It's so boring. I can appreciate Nintendo trying to constantly update it and everything, but it just bores me. I mean, at least Sonic never got a shitty film. Mario almost destroyed the video game film industry before it started. And for me, it just does nothing. Jumping on things as a fat plumber, no thank you. Jump things as a hedgehog that can run really fast, yeah, I'm down with that. Again, probably says more about me than anything else. But yeah, that's the top 10 games I hate that everyone else loves. Feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have any ideas for future top 10s or anything, my email, well, the email address to send me your ideas to is in the credits at the end of this video. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed. If you disagree, as I said, leave a comment. I'll see you again soon.